Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om, I bow to the Lord Vasudeva. Hello, everybody. I'm going to read to you again from the first chapter of the Gita, stanza 11 to begin with. Duryodhana is saying, all of you, therefore, placed in your proper stations, do everything you can to protect Bhishma. This is a very interesting stanza. It doesn't seem to have anything going for it, but in fact, the thing is that Bhishma, who represents the ego, needs constant bolstering. We're never sure of ourselves. We're always afraid that somebody's going to be better than we are. Somebody's going to outshine us. We're not sure that we're acceptable in the world's eyes, etc. So the ego needs constant bolstering from all our other qualities, our need for reassurance that we are capable of doing it. The big delusion in modern thinking is that you must develop your self-esteem. Really, self-esteem is a delusion. The more you think that I'm good, yes, you can. It's true that any time that you can direct all your, or a lot of your energy in one direction, you can accomplish more. So if you really persuade yourself that you're hot stuff, you'll be hot stuff for a while, but sooner or later somebody else will come who's hotter stuff. Somebody else will come along who knows things better than you do. Somebody else will come along and deflate your ego by pointing out that you've been baying down the wrong trail from the beginning. And again we find that this self-esteem, if it's based only on the ego, it's based on sand. And a little shifting of the waves, a little shifting of the wind, and the sand is gone, and where are you? So, yes, it's true that a certain amount of self-confidence is necessary, but more than that, it's important to feel that you have the infinite power behind you. I know many times, I remember somebody asked me once, I'd been in a period of seclusion, and I had written several books at that time, and I was about to come out in a week. Many things were scheduled to happen in my life, and I had to stop writing and get plunged into other activity. And the head of our publications firm, Crystal Clarity, said to me that we're having our 20th anniversary. This was in 1988, and it would be lovely if we could have a special book for that occasion. I said, yes, but in a week I can't possibly write such a book. And she said, well, she's a lady who doesn't give up very easily. And she said, well, it would be nice. And I said, well, yes, it would be nice, but I can't do that. Then after she'd left, I thought, well, I can't do it, but God can do anything. And so I turned it over to him. And the second day of this work, the power went out. Somebody turned a wrong knob in the fuse box, and suddenly I lost everything I had done that day. And I was so discouraged, I didn't do any work that day. I was still discouraged the next day and didn't do any work. The third day I started picking up my energy again and started in again. In 4 days I wrote that entire book. And it's a good book. It's called Cities of Light. And if you have a chance to read it, please do. Because what I found was that, no, I couldn't begin to do it. But when I put myself into that flow, suddenly it wrote itself for me. I didn't even have to think about what I was going to say next. It needed very little editing. It was just hot off the press and hot off the mind and hot off the spirit. But remember, if you can have not self-esteem, but God-esteem, if you know that He is the power, you can accomplish a lot more. But if you live in your ego and want to have your ego be always the general of your activities, you've got to give him constant support. The inferiority complex that people get, it's just the opposite side of the coin from superiority complex. Both of them are wrong. You have to stop thinking, I'm the doer. But I'm attached to this, I like you, I like this, I want to go there, I want to do this. This thought of I binds you. What you must do is get rid of that thought of I and realize that this is all a dream of the infinite dreamer. He came into this world to make it a place of beauty. It was supposed to be an Eden. It was supposed to be a place of charm. What happened in the Garden of Eden? Well, the story of the serpent in the center of who tempted Eve to eat the apple on the tree in the center of the garden. The center of the garden is the spine. And the apple in that tree, the fruit of that tree, is the sex instinct. The serpent is the kundalini, moving downward in the spine, stimulating that instinct. And it brought them into desires, male, female, I like, I dislike, I want, I don't want. It brought them into Maya. And so they were driven out of their Garden of Eden. But when you can live in yourself and understand that you are, wherever you go, you are the king. Wherever you go, you are untouched by anything. You can travel, you can sit in one place, you can be with people, you can be alone, but you can always be happy if you are centered there. When you go into wrong places, places with evil vibrations, and they exist, don't laugh at these things. I remember going into the nightclub district of San Francisco. I had to go there for one particular reason. And I felt as if tentacles of magnetism were trying to draw me into these bars and nightclubs where I had the slightest interest in going. But it was as if these forces wanted me to go. And I just kept chanting, as I think I told you this a few days ago, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. And I surrounded myself with waves of peace and love and devotion, and nothing could touch me. Rather, I could say that in that case, those evil vibrations and so on were a goad to make me even be more centered in myself. But don't take chances. Don't deliberately go into places where you may find yourself drawn into lower vibrations, lower tendencies. It's a good thing also always to take a bodyguard with you, somebody who believes as you do. When you eat in public places, be surrounded by other people. You know, in India, some sadhus will, even before they sit on a bench in the park, they'll put a cloth down. The protection from heterogeneous vibrations is a very important thing in life. And my guru used to urge us not to eat in public places if we could help it, but if we did eat in them, then to go with a group of friends so we could have our own vibrations only around us. The more you understand the power of magnetism, the power of wrong vibrations, wrong energies, the more you will see the need to protect yourself. And if you want God, you must keep your mind clean for Him. The dirt that comes into the world, that's why every night meditate, wash away that dirt, and offer your mind up to God. And every night, just as it says here in the Bhagavad Gita, ask yourself, the wrong soldiers and the right soldiers in my consciousness, which side won today? Make a mental check on yourself every day. This is why it's good to keep a diary too, something I haven't often done, but it's a good thing. Every night, check over. I used to build a mental bonfire for myself and throw into that bonfire every wrong attachment, every wrong desire. You'll find that in these ways also you can help God to free you. Yes, everything is His grace, but you've got to do something too. His grace sun shines on the side of the building like the sunlight, but you've got to open the curtain so that sun can come in. It's a two-way process. Don't let Him do it all. He won't. He'll wait for you to lift one hand before He drops two to pick you up. Joy to you.